In case you missed it, here's Dave and Cheryl's favorite moments of the week.
Father's Day, speaking of your dad, right around the corner. 57% of dads call Father's Day their favorite day of the year. So I guess maybe you've still got a little bit of time to make sure your dad has a great day.
Now, according to a survey that was done in the U.S., the average person plans to spend a record $196 on dear old dad for Father's Day this year, up from about $170 last year.
Is that high? What are we buying dads? That's worth almost $200.
Maybe for getting them out like a whole barbecue.
Or maybe like a tool set, things like that too, right? If you're thinking traditional dad things.
Power tools,
yeah,
things like that. Some top gift ideas include going out for a meal, like dinner or brunch. Clothing. Yeah, because dads never buy clothes for themselves. You gotta, it's the one time of year they get, besides Christmas, that they get underwear and socks probably. Or a new shirt for going out.
Because you wear your underwear long enough that it turns into dandelion spores and you buy an open window and it just goes, right?
Gift cards, electronics, and personal care items. I guess maybe like a razor, a new razor or something, or electric shaver.
Nearly 1/3, so about 29% of those celebrating Father's Day planning to give a gift of an experience, like tickets to a concert or a sporting event. Yeah, you go and see like Luke Bryan, or go to a Jays game, or go to a Tigers game, and that's where you get the price adding up pretty quickly, right?
Definitely. The top 5 gifts that dads say they don't want are in order: clothing.
No, we need new underwear. We always do.
Well, I was going to say, this is the time of year Dad needs that new 3-pack of white T-shirts, right? Because the other ones are getting a little yellow. Clothing, books and CDs, greeting cards, personal care items, and gift cards. So there's a bit of an overlap there.
Greeting cards. I mean, I know some people absolutely love them. We stopped years ago in my house with the greeting card stuff. Because they're like, you look at it and it's like, oh, I like that. And half the time it's just signs, so it's not even your sentiment in there. And then it just goes in the junk drawer, let's be honest.
Until you look at it and then you throw it out.
And interesting, 64% of dads specifically said they don't want anything that says world's best dad on it. As I'm drinking from a mug that says #1 grandpa. Sorry, all you other grandpas up there. Apparently.
Dave has the title.
The vote is in. Happy Father's Day early to everyone celebrating.
Yum, science. It's not rocket science.
Check it out. I blinded us with science.
A new study shows that sharks and swimmers are often very close to each other at the beach. Now, the good news is that attacks are extremely rare, so the sharks really just aren't that interested in us.
We expect that these current hotspots will go cold and someplace else will go hot. So what we always tell people is always understand that these sharks are highly mobile. They can always be at your beach. But rest assured, the data that we're getting now indicates that as long as you're not bothering them, they won't bother you.
And I don't want to bother them. We've all seen Jaws. They're not to be bothered with.
Yeah, but what if I come across the one that's, a little hungry?
Then you better
snack.
Hope you can swim faster than a shark.
Hey, according to a new study, the key to optimal health and longevity might be your sleep hygiene. In other words, sleep hygiene means getting enough good quality sleep. You do that and your mortality risk drops by 42%.
Wow.
So this study was recently published in the journal Sleep. It found those that had optimal sleep patterns benefited from better health outcomes than those who didn't. So if you want to improve your sleep quality, this is what they say you should do. You need to be consistent in your sleep and wake times. Remove electronic devices from your room. Try reading or gentle exercises before bed. Avoid caffeine after early afternoon. And also make sure that your room is cool and dark enough.
And Taylor Swift may be the hottest show in the world right now, but her concert goers are finding that after the show, they have trouble remembering it.
Yeah, so if anybody went to the show in Detroit on the weekend, you'll have to let us know if this is true. Scientists say that you just might be too excited to remember the show. When you're in that high of a state, you send energy to other parts of your body rather than to use it for your memory. So people actually end up forgetting the Taylor Swift concert they were literally just at.
I forgot that you existed.
So that becomes a thing where you just don't remember that you were there or remember specific parts of it.
I actually saw someone post about this. I think it was on Twitter, and they said, yeah, I had no recollection that they sang every single word to one song that came on and that they were dancing around. except that one of their friends videotaped them. And they're like, if I didn't have that video evidence, I would have been like, no, that never happened.
Because you're just so wound up and so excited to be there. Most nursing homes and senior care facilities, they have really peaceful names when you think about it, right? Shady Lawn, Babbling Brook, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm thinking in town, like you have like Copper Terrace.
Yeah, in this case, though, a guy in the UK was at a bus stop and he saw an ad for a senior care home and it had an unfortunate typo.
Yes, it's supposed to be called Skelton Court because it's in a village called Skelton. But I think the autocorrect got a hold of it. No one saw it in proofreading, and it was instead called Skeleton Court.
Yeah, Skeleton Court. So, yeah, pretty bad fail on behalf of whoever put that together.
Mm-hmm. So, one person online actually joked they're short staffed and have a skeleton crew. Another person said it reminded them of an animal charity in a town of Bury, England, that once had a sign that said, "Help bury animals."
Oh, because the town is spelled the same way.
It's spelled Bury.
B-U-R-Y. Officials at Skelton Court have heard about the mistake, apologized, and I'd imagine that's going to get cleaned up soon.
You know what? And it might not be their fault. It sounds like it was whoever put this ad together for them, whatever company it was. And I feel like they owe them a lot of free ads in return.
Yeah, one little E and what a difference it can make. Okay, I'll admit it. Sometimes we guys get accused of not really listening or following instructions.
Yes, and we've got 2 cases of this, actually, to tell you about. This one guy apparently made the executive decision while he was out getting groceries to purchase a giant half wheel of Parmesan cheese.
Why would you buy that much cheese?
Because I was trying to FaceTime you. And you wouldn't answer the phone. So I made an executive decision. I saw something labeled at a price, and I bought it.
And how much did you pay for that?
Approximately $10.44.
And how many pounds of cheese is
From
that?
like 20.
And what are we going to do?
No clue.
About 20 pounds of Parmesan. Parmesan? 44 pounds of cheese?
Not 20 pounds, 44 pounds. Guess you're putting Parmesan on literally everything.
Oh, man.
Well, you know what? You could split it up, though. I wouldn't be mad if you gifted me like a little block of Parmesan cheese. I'd be like super happy about that.
You might want to share that one with family and friends. All right, in this second one, this guy actually calls himself an idiot and then explains why. His wife gave him a grocery list with items numbered 1 through 7.
I went to the store today to get a few things that my wife told me to on a list. I put the list in my pocket and went to the store. Yeah, number 1, Velveeta. Number 2, chips. Number 3, hamburger. Yeah, that's how I read it now. How I read it at the store is, I need 1 block of Velveeta. 2 chips. There's your 2 chips. Hamburger. 1, 2, 3. Y'all get the picture. 4 waters. There's 4 waters. 5 things of sugar. 20 pounds of sugar. 6 pastas. 7 salt. Number 7 is salt. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, so he bought 7 boxes of salt.
Oh, buddy.
Maybe he thought she was going to pickle or something.
She needed to brine something, and you need a lot of salt for that.
Listening, it's an important skill. Nothing worse than maybe getting a new job, getting into that position. You're maybe the first week in and thinking to yourself, oh no, I've made a horrible, horrible decision.
Fortunately, though, some issues can be spotted before you accept a new job. And people on social media are sharing the red flags that they've noticed while on the hunt for a new job. And we've got some of the highlights for you.
One of them, any use of the term rock star.
Unless you're applying to be part of a band, a rock band, and
a literal rock star.
Yes, they're looking for a literal rock star. You probably don't want to apply. I love when it says fast-paced environment. It means it's absolute chaos. No one's in charge and no one knows what's happening. And you're going to be doing the job of 3 people when you're only 1 person.
Every day is going to feel like a tornado. How about this one? Salary to be discussed. Someone commented, every single job I've gone for where the salary wasn't disclosed up front in the interview was severely underpaid. I hate that question. Well, how much do you think this job you should make in this position?
That's when you're supposed to go back and say, well, based on everything I know so far, I don't have enough information to make a decision on that yet. What's your budget? Mm-hmm. Silence apparently can be golden in interviews. Just don't say anything. Don't be the first one to talk. Because a lot of times that can make a huge difference.
How about this one? Urgently hiring multiple candidates. Means they've got a little bit of an issue there and they're trying to solve it.
High turnover rate. Other red flags to be on the lookout for when you're looking for a job. If the job posting says unique challenges.
Means you're going to be problem solving all the time on your own and no one's going to help you.
Yep.
Must have a bubbly personality.
Unless you're working in customer service, what's the difference? What does it matter?
Also, this one, entry-level position requiring 3 to 5 years experience.
I've never understood that.
So don't make your resume too big, though, because then you might be seen as a threat. Oh, you're just going to want too much money.
Oh, you're overqualified.
Mm-hmm.
You're overqualified. How about being told during an interview that they're not looking for people who only come to work for a paycheck because, quote, we're a team?
That kind of plays into we're a family. Well,
if it says it's a family,
yeah.
that means they're going to. I saw someone they're like that means they're going to treat you like trash.
I mean,
they'll treat you like
a lot of families get along, a lot don't. So do you want that? How about this? Extremely short or empty job descriptions like, quote, you'll wear a lot of hats. Well, that just means you're probably only getting one salary for multiple hats.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to put multiple duties on you. And finally, being hired on the spot. Now, that might seem exciting, but it can be a red flag because if they're willing to hire you after just a couple of minutes, could be a sign of high turnover and they need someone ASAP.
Just things you need to be aware of with the job market. And I mean, there's jobs. There's definitely jobs. Mm-hmm. Are they the job you want? And just be aware of some of these red flags when you're applying. Well, could you imagine? This is one way to make sure your employer feels your absence after they let you go. A 25-year-old who worked in sales and marketing. Her name is Marshy, and she's going viral on TikTok for a recent prank she pulled on her office after getting laid off.
So this is what she did. She knew that she was going to be let go. So she printed out a ton of images of herself, and they had different speech bubbles on them saying different things. And she stuck them and hid them everywhere around the office to show to her, coworkers that she would never actually leave them. The best part is she went through and numbered them all, but she skipped some numbers. So they would never know if they actually found them all.
She shared an image that a former coworker sent her of them collecting the photos they'd found up on a whiteboard.
I saw this, and they were putting them in order to see, like, how many Marcys have you found today? And they were keeping track and stuck them all up on the board. And she's like, yeah, but they're going to keep searching for them because, they think there's a 13 out there, but I didn't put a 13 out
Talk
there.
about making a name for yourself, and I bet you there's some other smart marketing company that's going to go, come on over here, you're hired. People litter. It's a fact. You still see it all the time. What I see a lot is coffee cups when I'm out running. Masks, too. Probably blowing out of people's cars, although not as many lately. But coffee cups, a ton.
I remember driving back from, I think I was on location out at Parks Blueberries, and as I was driving home back into Chatham, there was a van in front of me, and all of a sudden the window rolled down, and an entire bag of fast food garbage got chucked out the window.
Oh, man.
And I was just so irrationally angry driving behind them because then I ran it over and it hit the vehicle. I was just like, are you kidding me? You couldn't wait until we were into Thamesville and stop somewhere and throw that out. Are you kidding me?
But the mindset back in the day used to be that way. I mean, I remember being a kid and my parents saying, oh, yeah, just throw it out the window.
That was back when they had like styrofoam containers and stuff, right?
And they used to have to run ads. Please put your, there was like a cartoon with a dancing garbage can. Please feed me. Well, some people think certain things are not littering. Cigarette butts, one of my personal pet peeves. I've had one time bounce off the road and stuck in my windshield wiper. That was on McNaughton Avenue.
And if it's still like...
Oh, it was still lit.
Like that red ember in there,
yeah,
right?
I had to drown it with the windshield wiper fluid so that it
Did it melt your windshield wipers?
Yeah, it caused a problem. So what about banana peels? A recent poll asked thousands of people if they thought tossing a banana peel on the ground was littering. About half, 49%, said yes.
Now, I kind of fall in this camp. The 36% of people that said it depends. They say if you drop a banana peel in the forest, it's not littering, but they think dropping it on the street is.
14% said it's never littering. Some people in the poll pointed out it's perfectly acceptable and even encouraged in Mario Kart.
That's not real life, though, guys. That's a video game.
Some pointed out the insurance risks of a peel making people slip. Actually, I did see that outside of the TD Bank on St. Clair one time when I was in the drive-thru. Somebody walked in and he slipped a little bit and he looked down and it was on a banana peel. And he looked at me and I'm like, what are the odds? And he started laughing. He goes, I'm just happy I didn't fall down. And one time I was driving home from work from here and I could see something coming out of a van beside me. Someone was eating a hard-boiled egg and they were just throwing the shells out the window afterwards. And I thought, well, yeah, I guess.
Well, I'm thinking about times
things to toss.
I've been driving down the highway, right, and I have like an apple, and you throw the core out, roll down the window, and chuck it out.
Certain things like that, I think, depending upon where you are, could be littering. Got to tell you what happened to me yesterday. So, back it up to the weekend. My wife had a dream, and I kid you not, that she had made a pot of beans, like mixed beans, all kinds of stuff.
Wow, your wife needs to have some better dreams.
That's what I said. Wow, you really interesting dreams. So fast forward then to, it got made, so Monday, but she made like a vat of it, like an entire crock pot full of it in the slow cooker.
Okay.
So beans Monday, beans Tuesday, waste not, want not. I thought yesterday, well, I'll bring some for my lunch. My body was like, no more beans. No more beans. So I was like, no, I'm going to run out. So I ran out and grabbed something for lunch instead. And my guts were not happy with me yesterday. But I thought, I'm going to
because of the beans or the takeout?
The beans. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to go out for a short little jaunt, right? I'm going to do that hard miles run on Saturday, right?
Yep.
So I thought, I'll just go out for a quick little run. I got a kilometer in, and I kid you not, I was afraid I was going to poop my pants. I wasn't entirely sure. I turned around and came home, and I was sweating like I just run a 10K because I wasn't entirely sure what my body was going to do in that moment. So, and what made it worse was, of course, the dog had to stop 2 or 3 times, and she went. I'm like, aren't you lucky?
She's just rubbing it in now.
Just drop it right there on the grass. So, yeah. Long story short, we still have half a vat of beans that we're going to end up giving away to family who can also enjoy the rumbling guts.
So, did your wife also have a dream that you would poop your pants from this magical vat of beans she would make?
I was actually looking at it and thinking, okay, if I eat it Monday and Tuesday and maybe Wednesday, I'm running Saturday. I don't want to poop my pants every kilometer. So ideally, that won't happen.
Okay, next time, tell her she's got to have that recipe. She's got to cut it in half because, my gosh.
I should add, the flavors were amazing. It was really good.
Yeah, I'm not
all thrown together.
I'm a big fan of beans too, but I also know my limits when it comes to beans.
Yeah, you know what they say at the casino, know your limit, play within it. I did not play within my limits.
How did you know?
I know, it was amazing.
I just happen to know, that's all.
No, yes, I don't know.
These aren't jokes, these are thoughts, these are things that make you go,
77% of adults admit they buy gum or candy in the checkout line almost every time they go food shopping.
Are you one of those adults?
Not all the time, often, because I run and I chew gum as I run, so I'll be like, ooh, do I need another pack? But it's because it's right there. Right? They know. For people that buy it on the regular or little kids, it's right at their eye level.
Yeah. Ooh, look at all this candy, Mom. Hey, 60% of people say they use their garage for something other than its intended purpose.
Well, it turns into storage lockers for a lot of people.
Or, keeping your lawnmower and all your outdoor implements.
31% of adults admit they haven't flossed in the last 6 months. I mean, it's so much easier now with those floss sticks.
I just picked up a new pack because I was out. Yeah, with those I floss like every single day.
Same. First trying to find because they're always in the micro containers.
Yes.
Right? You ever notice that? Could you give me one that's the size of a thumbnail? Perfect. That's great.
Yes.
I'll lose it.
And I have like 7 of them from the dentist, and I'm always like,
Where is it?
Hey, 29% of parents use their kids as an excuse to buy chocolate milk for themselves.
Well, they say it's pretty good for you. There's a lot of benefits.
Now, are you did you grow up in a family where you would mix in regular milk, the chocolate milk, to make it go further?
We could not afford the fancy chocolate milk.
Or were you mixing the Nesquik in with it? The powder?
Nesquik. In the container that was cardboard but had the metal top.
And you had to use a spoon to pop it off.
The top off, right?
Oh.
And there was a strawberry one, too.
Strawberry Quick.
We had both. We had both flavors.
Do they still have the powdered Quick, or is it all just like a syrup now?
I wonder if you can get the powdered stuff in the original container. That'd be kind of cool. Hey, 25% of us take a shower at night rather than in the morning.
I'm a night showerer now.
No, morning. Gotta be. I get running late for work and I still have to jump in the shower for 2 minutes.
Yeah, but you don't have a lot of hair on your head to dry.
There's less maintenance going on there, I think.
15% of adults say they've tried to get into the wrong car in a parking lot.
And some are lying. The rest of them are lying. I bet you it's more than 15%.
I've walked up to the wrong car before because it was like the same color and stuff. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute. I've heard of people actually getting into the wrong car before, too.
Well, the key fobs, right? That was an issue once upon a time with some vehicles. That they were actually opening other vehicles. And finally, 6% of adults say they never eat eggs.
So they're not even eating food that has eggs in it?
Could be an allergy issue.
Yeah, I know.
Or they're just not a fan of eggs. That's okay. I eat eggs every day. I'll eat yours.
You've been listening to Dave and Cheryl's favorite moments of the week.